As seen on Kaleidoscope the Series. Kaleidoscope the Series on ABC 23. It's a different look at our region, unique places you may not know exist, unique people sharing their amazing talents. There are good things happening in our area. Watch it all every Sunday on Kaleidoscope the Series on ABC 23. Welcome back. For years, generations really, you know this, families pass down items they've bought or made to their children and grandchildren. But things get so old, sometimes you just get rid of them, or who knows what happens to them, right? But for one family in our area, not only did they keep a lot of them, tools actually, they turned what was once used into a museum. The Antique Tool Museum at the Laurel Mountain Winery. Just check out what they still have.
We are at Laurel Mountain Winery in Falls Creek, Pennsylvania, sitting in front of the Antique Tool Museum. My husband and I, John Nordberg, and myself, Barbara, started Laurel Mountain Winery 25 years ago. He has a family farm in Driftwood. Jenny and Oscar Nordberg were born in Sweden and moved to Pennsylvania and found a place to live in Driftwood and started a family farm, kind of a side thing in the beginning because he worked in the coal mines then. Elmer was my husband's father, and he inherited the farm, and that's when John spent more time at the farm helping him do things and just having a good time. And it was a working farm. They owned a dairy, so his family also raised cows and had horses and chickens. So many tools were used to keep the farm going. And he was very fond of seeing how the grandparents used those. So he wanted to bring them here to show our customers coming to the winery.
I'm a carpenter from way back. It's really interesting for me to see all the old tools in there and how it was done back in the olden days. All today's technologies that you have, you kind of take things for granted nowadays. Back then it was just really unique how they used everything. Some of the things in there are pretty unique. I know we had a guessing game in here. And over the years, I think only about 19 people have correctly guessed what everything was. We range from saws to antique wrenches, some railroad stuff in there, ice picks and hay rakes in there, some old sickles, a couple old scales, old washing machine, and some other things in there that you have to guess what they are. Yeah, that's an old Maytag washing machine, probably back in the late 30s or 20s, somewhere in that area. It also has a butter churn attachment to it, which is pretty rare. Most of these items came from our family farm over in Driftwood, the Nordberg farm, which we just got placed on the Centennial Farm for historical farms. So it's probably from the 20s up into the 30s and 50s. Some of the other tools we have in there is we have an ice saw. Back in the day, you used to have to go out to the river or lake and use a saw to cut your ice out. And then we got some ice tongs. You had to take the tongs and take that and put that all down in your root cellar, your ice house. We also have some Cobbler Tools, which is tools for making shoes. We have a corn shucker in there. And we have a cherry pitter. We have some locomotive stuff for bending rails. It's called a mine bending rail. It used to be used in the coal mines to bend the rails around the corners. One of our biggest tools we have here is an old antique cider press that has been in the family since 1897. We only bring that out once a year for our annual cider pressing event that we have in October, which is pretty neat. We have the kids and stuff come out and they can turn the crank and stuff on the handle and stuff and make apple cider. A lot of people come here for the wine and to see the museum, and it's just a great side attraction for people to come in and getting the wine. It's a part of history, and you get to see how things were done back in the day. You take so many things for granted today that we didn't have back then. A Walmart store, for example, you can go there and buy a pair of shoes. Back in the day, you had to fix your shoes or repair them or make new ones. You just couldn't get up and go to the store.
We have many unique tools in this tool museum, but we also have the winery, which is across the parking lot, and we have about 25 to 30 different varieties. My husband envisioned the field covered with customers listening to music. So we've been doing what we call Sunset at the Winery for about 15 years. Come to Laurel Mountain Winery, visit our Antique Tool Museum, see a kaleidoscope of antique tools, enjoy a kaleidoscope of unique wines over in the winery building.